One of the most common reasons why many people regaining all the way back on after they finish with the fat loss diet is because they don't know how to transition from the calorie deficit. And that's when reverse diet comes in place. So in this video, I'm gonna explain what reverse diet is, how you can apply it step by step so you can actually eat more food, improve your physical performance, even build muscle, and in the same time stay lean and not regaining all that weight back on after you are done with the fat loss diet. So let's get started. Hi, my name is Luca. I'm a strength and conditioning coach and a personal trainer with over a decade of experience. And what I have noticed over the years is that people who go on very aggressive fat loss diets, or they dieting for a very long time to lose fat, they either yo-yo diet, they're regaining all that weight back on after the diet is over, or they're getting to the point where they're not eating a lot of calories and they still have a hard time to lose fat. Even worse, they're losing muscles, their health and physical performance is impacted. So that's why in this video, I want to explain how reverse diet can be beneficial for people in that case. So let's get started. Let's first talk about what is a reverse diet. A reverse diet is a process where we slowly increasing your calorie intake after a fat loss diet is finished to restore your metabolism, improve your physical performance at the gym, give you a physiological and mental break from dieting. When we are on a fat loss phase for a long period of time, we're accumulating a lot of mental fatigue. So having a diet break and slowly increasing your calories is going to be also very important for sustainability for a long-term fat loss approach. Reverse diet also helps you to restore, like I said, metabolism, but also your hormones, improve your physical performance at the gym, improves your lipido, and also can help you with composition of your body, because after a while, if you're just dieting for a very long period of time and you also dieting very aggressively, that can impact your muscle mass, your strength progress, your testosterone, and overall your body composition. So with the reverse diet, we're slowly increasing your calories around 50 to 100 calories per week to your true or new maintenance of calories, to again restore your metabolism and improve your physical performance and give you a psychological break from dieting. So why do we need a reverse diet? Like I mentioned before, if we're dieting aggressively or if we're dieting for a very long time, a year or longer, at some point we're gonna find ourselves eating very little calories, and in order for us to continue losing weight, we will have to drop even more calories or eat even less calories. And at some point, we're gonna find ourselves in an unhealthy calorie range, which is gonna cause us to lose muscle mass. It's gonna impact our hormones like leptin, thyroid, your cortisol level, your testosterone, your physical performance is gonna go down, your lipido is gonna be impacted, and your overall health. So we cannot continue dieting for fat loss for a very long time. I personally like to go between 8 to 16 weeks on the fat loss phase, and then having a diet break or a maintenance phase that is also similar in length than a fat loss phase. And after the fat loss diet is over, we want to slowly increase your calorie intake around 50 to 150 calories per week. It really depends on the individual. Some coaches or some people having much more aggressive calorie increase on the reverse diet. I personally prefer a slower approach to get your body used to gradually eating more calories and to minimize fat gain when we're increasing the calories. So that's my personal approach, but that's why we're doing the reverse diet. So how do you do a reverse diet step by step? So for example, let's say you finish your diet on 2,000 calories. Instead of jumping from 2,000 calories to more like 2,800 calories, I personally, on week 1, increase the calorie intake by around 100 to 200. And then I do that for around 1 to 2 weeks, and I'm monitoring the weight, I'm monitoring your physical performance, how you feel, your body composition. And then each week, I'm slowly increasing the calories, anywhere between 100 to 150 calories. And again, we're monitoring how you feel, we're monitoring your weight, if you're gaining a lot of weight or not, we're monitoring your physical performance and your body composition. Once we found a true maintenance, which is gonna be a new maintenance, right? After fat loss diet is over, your body looks different, right? Because you probably lost 10, 15, 20 pounds. So your maintenance is gonna be different when you started a diet. It's probably gonna be less. So we're trying to find a true maintenance. Maintenance is the maximum amount of calories that you can consume without gaining more weight. The way we're trying to find the true maintenance is increasing your calories weekly to the point where once we see that you start gaining weight, maybe a pound or 2 pounds or 3 pounds, then we maybe cut down the calories a little bit for 100 or 150, see how your body is responding. And once we feel like at some point where at this number, let's say 2,700 calories you're consuming, you're not gaining weight, you're not losing weight, and this is like your true calorie maintenance, then we're trying to sustain that for several weeks to let your body get used to it, to this amount of calories, give you a psychological break. And at that point, this is a great time actually, because I feel a lot of people, when they reverse diet after the fat loss phase, they still staying lean, but the muscle and body composition actually looks better because they have a better performance in the gym, they feel stronger, they have more glycogen in the muscles, so the muscles don't look so flat, they look more filled and full, and they feel better mentally and physically. So that's why the reverse diet is very beneficial. Now, some common mistakes with the reverse diet is, number one, people jumping or increasing the calorie intake too aggressively. Once the diet is over, they going on big cheat meals when they're eating a lot of junk food like pizza, ice cream, and they're just having a huge cheat meal and they binge eating. And that's when they're gaining fat back on after the diet is over. After a fat loss diet is over, yes, we want to keep increasing the calories, but we still want to eat relatively healthy. We don't want to eat highly processed, highly calorie dense, palatable foods, because it's very easy to overeat on these foods and binge eat and regain all that weight back on. So maybe a little, pleasure or highly processed calorie dense foods here and there is fine, as long as you are in that calorie range and you're not going too much over your calorie intake. You should be in a good place. But we still wanna eat pretty healthy, pretty good, and slowly increase your calories instead of eating a bunch of calories and binging after the diet is over. Another mistake that people do after fat loss is they barely increasing the calories. Maybe they increase the calories by like 30 calories or even 20 calories because they are so afraid of fat gain. And that's a mistake, because if you just gonna increase your calories very little, you're gonna continue staying in that state of metabolic adaptation, and you're not gonna be able to get the benefits from the reverse diet. So yeah, we don't wanna jump the calories and increase the calories too aggressively, but also not too slow, so you're not actually getting the benefits from this type of approach. Another mistake that people do on the reverse diet, they don't track their weight, they don't measure how much calories they're eating, they just kind of done with the fat loss phase and they're coming back to our regular eating, and they just kind of forget about the fat loss and just want to be done with it. And that's another mistake, because if you come back to regular eating, if you're not monitoring your calories, if you're not checking your weight, you're gonna most likely regain all that weight back. And maybe not all of it, but a lot of it. And I found personally for myself and a lot of clients that transitional period is the hardest period. It's not, going in a fat loss diet and trying to lose weight is difficult, but also transitioning off from the diet is also even more difficult, I found, because it's after the fat loss diet is finished, is very easy to again binge eat and regain all that weight back on. So that transitional period from a fat loss to a reverse diet, it is difficult. So that's why that slow approach, but not too slow and not too aggressive, still trying to eat healthy, still nourishing our body, and monitoring our weight, monitor our calories is going to be very important. Another common mistake that people do on the reverse diet is that they have expectations that they're not gonna gain any weight, and that's not true. The reality is that you might have initial bump of weight gain simply due to more glycogen in your body, which glycogen causes you to store more water. You might have more bloat or more undigested food in your stomach, which can also cause your weight to go up. You might just simply consuming more sodium, which can cause more water retention. So once we increasing the calories initially, you might see that initial bump in the weight, but that's not necessarily a fat gain. That's just undigested food, water retention, things like that. After a couple of weeks, your body should normalize and come back to maybe 2-3 pounds up and down to the normal weight that you once you finish the fat loss phase. So remember, a reverse diet is not a diet to stay shredded forever. It's a way for you to increase your calories, give you a psychological and physiological break, improve your physical performance, restore your metabolism, improve your hormone profile, and will allow you to still stay lean, maybe not shredded, because at the end of the day we cannot stay 5% or less shredded all year around. That's not healthy actually. But the reverse diet is going to allow you to stay lean, maintain on being able to maintain for the most part all that weight or fat loss that you lost during the fat loss phase, and it's going to allow you to be healthy, stay strong, and be able to progressing long term. So I hope that makes sense. If you guys have any other questions, or if there's anything that is confusing or you're not sure, please leave the comment below, and I'll hope you're gonna be able to clarify all your questions and help you. So thank you for watching. If you found value in this video, please subscribe, like the video, and I'll see you on the next one.